I'm going to be going over cars that we need inside of Driving Empire, but before I do that, make sure to subscribe and drop a like on this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, now the cars that I'm going to be suggesting in this video are going to be from brands that we already have licensed. That way, you know, if Driving Empire is watching, there's a higher chance that this could actually happen. So brands like Bentley, Cadillac, Chevy, you get it. Stuff that's already licensed that they would just have to add a model from that brand in game too. So let's start off with a fan favorite, Koenigsegg. So I got 3 on the list from Koenigsegg right now. So let's start going over the first one, the Koenigsegg Agera 1-to-1. I feel like very iconic Koenigsegg. Obviously, it was when they were able to achieve the 1-to-1 weight to power distribution for a car. I feel like that's something really significant that should be added to the game. It's a really special Koenigsegg, and I think it would be great to come to the game as a limited vehicle. Obviously, Driving Empire loves making money, clearly, because they have a lot of, you know, game passes and stuff here. Obviously, I can't see them because I bought them all, but Driving Empire, I'm sure, wants to make their money. So when they add limited vehicles, let me show you what they do. Alright, as you can see on my update video here, I showcased a limited vehicle, and Driving Empire will always make their limited vehicle cost in-game money or Robux. You can pick which one you purchase, and if they were to add a Koenigsegg limited, they could do the same thing, and I'm sure they can make quite a bit of Robux off that, which obviously helps fund the game, which they of course want funding for. So basically, you get what I'm saying here. You know, if they were to add a Koenigsegg 1-to-1 as a limited, it would be the perfect limited. Obviously, tons of people will want to buy it if they have in-game money, and if they don't, I'm sure tons of people will be willing to spend Robux to get it. So basically, great way for Driving Empire to make some money, and also for us to get a car that we really want. So I think a limited Koenigsegg 1-to-1 would be a great car. Now the next vehicle is going to be a Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute, which is obviously the more top speed focused version of the Koenigsegg Jesko Attack. So this is the Jesko Attack right here, as you can see, but the Absolute, I feel like a lot of people would want that in game because it's supposed to be the fastest car in the world. It hasn't really been tested, but I still feel like it would be absolutely insane to have that in game. It would definitely be the in-game new fastest car. And also, I mean, who doesn't want a Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute? That thing's just menacing looking. It's like a Jesko, but like it's kind of like a bit more aggressive, more intimidating. I feel like it's got like that crazy, you know, wider rear end. The Jesko Absolute would just be so crazy in game. I don't know what else more to say, but I know that people would want it. So Jesko Absolute, definitely one of those ones up there that we need from Koenigsegg. And finally, let's go over the last Koenigsegg that I think we need them to add. Now this Koenigsegg that I'm going to go over, it's not necessarily one Koenigsegg, it's kind of like just any from a specific model. So obviously you have in game, you know, the Agera, the Gemera, the Jesko, and the Regera. But what we don't have is a CCX model. So any CCX model I feel like would be great. My personal favorite is either the CCXR or the CCGT. I feel like either of those would be really cool, but hear me out. I got a little cool idea if they were to add the CCGT, or honestly, it would work with any CCX. Let me show you why. So, in collections, you can see we don't have a Koenigsegg collection, but if we did, hear me out how cool this could be. So, obviously, there's tons of collections coming soon. A Koenigsegg collection would make a lot of sense. Let me show you what they got for Pagani. So, Pagani collection, you own all these Paganis. You get yourself a Zonda C12, which is kind of like one of the original Paganis. The CCX is one of the original Koenigsegg, so it would make sense to have a Koenigsegg collection with that for the normal CCX. Or, if they had my favorite, the CCGT, that would fit in as well, because you can see here in the Audi collection, they have the GT3 Audi there, and in the McLaren collection, which is right here, you can see you could get yourselves a GT3 McLaren, right? So, you know, GT3 cars, you know, race style cars, kind of a trend there. So, a Koenigsegg CCX GT, or CCGT, I think that's what it's called, that would make total sense to be a collection vehicle, so I could completely see them adding that in there. Okay, next up's gonna be a car from Lotus, and it's gonna be the Lotus Amira. Now, I feel like the Lotus Amira is really an important car for Lotus. It kind of like, I think it's their most popular car right now. It's really a significant car, like the Lotus Amira. That thing is people are loving it from Lotus, so I don't know why Driving Empire wouldn't add it when they licensed Lotus. It just feels like the Lotus that should be added, but it's not for some reason. We have some random old Lotus here. Sorry if I'm offending a Lotus fan, but I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what the heck this car is. I'm sure anyone playing Driving Empire does not care about this thing, but what they do care about is probably that new Lotus. That new Lotus definitely needed. You know, this Lotus right here, kind of mid as well. I don't really care for this Lotus too much. This one is kind of similar to that other Lotus, but this is an electric vehicle, so I don't really like it too much. I think we really need that new Lotus Amira. That just makes so much sense to come into the game. We absolutely need it. Okay, this next car I'm honestly surprised we don't have yet, but it's the Porsche GT3. Now, the reason I'm so surprised we don't have this yet is because take a look. We have so many Porsches in game here. We even have the new GT3 RS, but we don't have the new GT3. And the new GT3 is just such a cool Porsche. Like, I don't get why it's not in game. It's just like a car that's like just kind of like one random Porsche that's missing. Like, how do we not have that in our lineup of Porsches in game? It just doesn't make much sense at all to me. I don't get why there's no Porsche GT3. The GT3 is just kind of like not quite the GT3 RS, but like something, you know, a little bit below it. That's really nice. I just think it's absolutely needed. Now, next up's another Porsche. Gonna be the Porsche Carrera GT. Now, the Porsche Carrera GT, very historical and important Porsche, and it's not like Porsche is against adding their older cars to game. As you can see, they've added a lot of, hold on, let me show you, the Porsche 918 right here. They've added 2 variants, so they've added a lot of their older cars as well, you know, not just the 918, but look, we have 2 variants of the 918, yet we can't get one single Porsche Carrera GT in game. Kind of weird. I feel like that's a little bit, you know, weird. Obviously, the Porsche Carrera GT, very significant Porsche, very beloved Porsche by many. I don't know why it's not in game yet. Alright, this next one's gonna be from Pagani, and it's the Pagani Utopia Roadster. Now, the Utopia Roadster, beautiful. I feel like, you know, I wasn't that big of a fan of the Utopia when they released it, but the Utopia Roadster kind of changed it up for me. I'm in love with the Utopia Roadster, especially that red carbon spec one. Beautiful. One of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful Pagani ever created, in my opinion. Stunning, gorgeous. We need it in game. You know, it's not like they only have a select few Paganis. They really have a lot of variety in Pagani. I mean, they even have their own custom driving Empire Pagani, which looks honestly kind of bad, I can't lie. But my point is, Driving Empire has like literally every Pagani under the sun, it feels like, except for the Pagani Utopia Roadster. So please, devs, do something with Pagani, get us a Utopia Roadster. I feel like that's another thing that could kind of be a limited vehicle. You know, a Utopia Roadster is definitely something that could get added as a limited, and as I already mentioned, you know, they could add that for Robux and in-game money, which also helps, you know, that'll help make Driving Empire a bit more money than usual, a little bit of a money spike, which would be good for them. So, you know, a Utopia Roadster as a limited vehicle, definitely something that I think is needed to come. Alright, these next cars I'm gonna kind of group together because they're basically the same thing, but a Lamborghini Aventador, either like a SV or an SVJ, would be phenomenal. You have no clue how many people want this car. I'm guessing every player at Driving Empire probably wants an Aventador. It's probably, like, if you think of a supercar, the supercar is the Aventador for most people in my age group. I'm sure the, you know, the younger generation, like people a few years younger than me, maybe even a few years older than me, what they think of when they think of a supercar is probably an Aventador. Like, when someone says supercar, that's just the car that comes to mind. I feel like the Aventador is so iconic. It's got to come to the game. I mean, there's no way you're going to be playing a driving game without an Aventador in it. They have to have the Aventador, SV or SVJ. Alright, now lastly, I got 3 McLarens that we just need in the game. So, these McLarens are going to be the Senna GTR first off. I mean, we literally have a special version of the Senna that's like not even a real car. That's like a made-up version. We have this Senna, but we can't get a Senna GTR. I feel like, you know, Senna GTR, kind of a necessity. I think we really need that car in Driving Empire. Definitely would be a great car to have as a limited. Honestly, all 3 of the McLarens I'm about to go over would be great McLarens to have as limited. So, Senna GTR, first one. Then we got the P1 GTR, you guessed it. We absolutely need a P1 GTR. I mean, why would they not have a P1 GTR in game? I feel like P1 GTR, one of the most iconic McLarens ever, so we definitely need that. I mean, honestly, they could do an update with all 3 of these cars in it that I'm about to go over, and I'm sure you guessed the last one I'm going to go over, the F1 GTR. Of course we need an F1 GTR. I mean, another McLaren's just super iconic. It's like the F1, but 10 times cooler with a spoiler and stuff. So, F1 GTR, P1 GTR, and Senna GTR in an update together, all as limited McLarens, would be really cool. Maybe they could even do like a mini McLaren event for them. I don't know, but something like that could be really amazing and cool. I don't know why they wouldn't do it. So it just makes sense. Like, it would be such a great update to get the GTR variants of all those cars. But that is going to be everything for today's video. I truly hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like. I would truly appreciate it. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. Check out the video on screen here. YouTube links to like it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.